Hello, and welcome to the Dad and Sons podcast. Today, we have a very lighthearted show for you today. We didn't just spend the first hour talking.
40 minutes, yeah.
About real life stuff. About life.
And the directions it goes.
A welcome catch up.
Dad and Sons After Dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Dad and Sons When You Become a Dad.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's the kind of announcement that people will look way too much into based on how much people are already looking into me and my dog. Prancing through the flower fields together with Beatles music playing in the background.
I've been listening to a lot of Beatles recently, actually. It's funny you say that.
Yeah, I can't imagine why.
It's a funny old game, isn't it? Life. It's good to be back, though. How you guys doing?
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Just going through the times, man.
Just
going
vibing.
through the times. That the next phase in life, I feel, is coming up. You know.
But anyways, hello. We're back, I guess.
You guys play some games?
I did. Well, actually, no. I mean, I did a little bit, but I actually watched things more in the past couple of weeks.
I feel like an old person, because that's just kind of seems to be where it's going, isn't it? I don't know. For Matt, maybe it's not, but...
Matt started out... Matt literally is the father of Netflix No Chill, but now he's basically game master, and the roles have reversed a little bit. Unless, Matt, you're also binge watching.
I watched... I finished up Schitt's Creek.
Okay.
And I watched Kate.
You are a demon on the Schitt's Creek reaction GIFs, I just want to say.
Oh my god, I love those. I love that show.
Your Schitt's Creek reaction GIF game is like S++ super stylish.
There's so many GIFs.
You cannot fly a story past this man without getting a Schitt's Creek reaction GIF.
There's so many. But yeah, like, have you guys been watching anything?
Yeah.
I keep hearing about Ted Lasso.
Well, yeah, of course. There's no need to gush about that, man. And I want to say, like, the most recent episode of Ted Lasso actually is like an art house piece of an episode. God, it's good. But
are they in season 2 now?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I gotta catch up.
It's good.
I'm still halfway through season 1, but it was good.
It takes it to some interesting places you probably don't expect, but it's very good. First thing I want to say is I watched Shang-Chi.
Oh, the controversial new Marvel hit that all the angry YouTubers thought was gonna fail but didn't.
I'm so glad that Marvel decided that doing good movies would be a nice move forward.
Oh boy.
Because it's good, and it's good because it's not a Marvel movie in any way, shape, or form. It is just a really cool, kind of beautiful martial arts movie about family. I have no idea who Shang-Chi is or anything to do about the Ten Rings, but I really enjoyed that movie.
It's like a Sonic title.
Yeah, it's Sonic and the Ten Rings. I don't know if Matt, have you seen it? I don't know if you've seen it.
I haven't. I've been wanting to. Yeah.
You should. I think it's well worth a watch. It's heavily CGI'd, which is my only complaint really about it. But I do want to say, even though it's heavily CGI'd, it's easily like the most grounded of all of the action Marvel movies. There's a lot of fighting in it, but it's all proper martial arts. Like, I say proper in air quotes because, of course, I don't fully understand martial arts like someone else might. But it felt like I was watching like a Jet Li movie or like an old Jackie Chan movie or something. It was really grounding, very hard hitting, all like hand-to-hand combat and stuff like that. Sim Liu, the guy who plays Shang-Chi, is awesome. He's really great. But him and Awkwafina are amazing together. And Awkwafina is so great in this movie. Like, their dynamic is so funny. It's brilliant. It feels very good. And it actually felt like the first, like, 2021 modern movie of our times. Like, a movie that understood what we talk about or what we say and like the things that bum us out as young, not young adults, but 20 to 30-year-old adults in 2021 without being cringy.
Yeah.
Like climate change making the future depressing.
A little bit of the depression side of being an adult in this kind of age, and also the well, let's go to karaoke and sing Hotel California. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. I had no expectations going in, but it was really really enjoyable. I do recommend it. I don't particularly like Marvel movies that much, and this one was great because it didn't feel like a Marvel movie at all. It was only tangentially shoved in with some Doctor Strange stuff for the most part. Sorry, Matt, go ahead.
Yeah, I want to ask, like, maybe you have something since you're living in Japan for so long. But like, I've heard from some of my Asian friends that it was a little too not racist, but like stereotypical.
It's funny you say that because I would have no idea. I think maybe possibly it's funny because the people who were sat behind me were Chinese and they were laughing a lot. So I don't know whether they were laughing at his pronunciation because, he's Canadian Chinese, but
right.
I have no idea to the level of extent or what that could be. It does hype up the like Asian family tension stereotypical stuff that, I think even Japanese people would be looking at kind of with a shaky fist maybe. But yeah, it is a bit cliche, like in that kind of way, but I wouldn't be able to speak on that really. And it's heavily focused on Chinese heritage than Asian specific, so not really sure actually. It does feel a little like that typical parent, I'm disappointed in you, and etc, like you must become the head of the family and
make all A's,
all those things. Your mother, we expect better of you.
Get an A+ on your art classes,
that kind of thing. And of course everybody should know martial arts because they're Asian or whatever, and that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's how it works, right?
Yeah.
All the Canadian Asians know martial arts, right, kids? I've
got to say, though, that the scenes with his mother in it, and also, I forget her name, is it Michelle Yeoh? The martial arts style, like, that the people of this place called Tao Lo, like the way they fight is really beautiful to watch, and like the choreography and like everything that goes with it is like wind based and very like the movement is really soft, and it looks great and feels really beautiful. Like those pieces are like my favorite parts of that film. Very, very like action's great. The comedy is actually really good. It feels quite grounded and realistic in terms of like a modern 2021 movie, and also it is quite beautiful at parts. So I enjoyed it. It's not like a 10 out of 10 movie, but it's a solid 8 out of 10 for sure.
It's good. 8 is good enough these days.
Yeah.
You did say it was a lot better than the usual Marvel offerings, and it does not feel like a Marvel movie. And I was wondering if you could expand on that a bit and maybe shit on the Marvel movies with me.
Well, I don't know. Like I enjoyed it a lot because it was a good movie. I think Marvel movies please don't hate me for this, internet. I think Marvel movies get a pass automatically for being Marvel movies, right? They're not necessarily always guaranteed to be good movies, but they could be good Marvel movies, which is always like a good 7 out of 10 movie, right? But then you have some Marvel movies which are bad Marvel movies that are like really like 3 out of 10 films. Whoa. Whereas this felt like an actual good film, and there's very little Marvel in it, minus being kind of fantastical in parts and also having some connections to Doctor Strange and stuff like that in it. It felt just like kind of like a fantastical martial arts movie, a little like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon or something like that. That's what it felt like. And it gets more fantastical as it moves on, and it becomes a little tougher to believe. Like they have these mythical creatures and stuff in it, which is a little weird. It does feel like, holy crap, like how did nobody on Earth before Iron Man know that all these superheroes existed and blah, blah, blah. There seems to be one in every fucking street corner now.
You just can't get anything done in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, but really, actually, until the post-credit scene, there isn't really anything that relates it to Marvel. So you're just basically watching a standalone movie about a guy and his father And that's it. That's really it. And it's just enjoyable because of that. And also, Marvel movies have to have a lot of action, explosions, Hulk smashing things, Iron Man blowing shit up. But this movie is all about martial arts combat. It's all about hand-to-hand fighting. So it feels way more grounded. There's no guns for some reason. Like, they use these, like, electrical crossbows, which is really weird.
Zap.
I've got to be honest, the Ten Rings, like, his dad who fights with the Ten Rings, Tony Liu, is an amazing actor. He's brilliant as Shang-Chi's dad, who is meant to be Mandarin. So if you've watched Iron Man 3, you know kind of about the Mandarin guy, but this is the real one. He uses it almost like Kratos uses the chains of Olympus, right? He like throws them out and they're all connected by lightning and stuff like that. But he does cool stuff with it. Like, he boosts himself off the ground with it. Like, he's almost like a Dragon Ball character. And it really is cool. In fact, actually, at one moment, he literally does a Kamehameha, right?
What?
Shang-Chi does a Kamehameha, and they even reference that he does Kamehameha towards the end of the movie, where they're like, oh, and he did a Kamehameha and shit. They literally say Kamehameha. It's pretty funny. So it does some really cool... There's a lot of different styles of, like, this martial art that they do. Of course, they have, like, hand-to-hand combat, but then when they start adding in, like, weapons, and when they have, like, the fantastical, like, wind martial art, they all feel very distinct, and then they all, like, are like a paper, rock, scissors kind of thing. I don't know. It was just a very enjoyable movie. The two people I went to watch it with also really enjoyed it. It felt quite beautiful in some parts, as much as you could say about a Marvel movie.
And it's only in theaters, huh?
At present, yeah, it is. It's super overly CGI'd, especially towards the end. That it's kind of, do I really need to see this on a big? Yeah, I mean, it's pretty bad in places, actually, if I'm entirely honest. It looks a little rough.
Oh boy! But
it's still fun. It's still fun. It's a big kid action movie with a good heart. It has a lot of heart. I'm glad that Marvel can do stuff like that, and we can move past the other stuff a little bit and do some interesting things. But it's not the most interesting thing I watched. And before I switch over, I do want to talk about something I literally finished today and I could not stop watching for the life of me. And I don't know if you've heard of it.
SpongeBob.
It's called Squid Game.
Oh.
I have also been watching a lot of SpongeBob. But Squid Game, have you guys heard of this? It's brand new on Netflix.
I see that it's not a video game. Squid Game is a South Korean survival drama streaming television series written and directed by Hwang Dong-hyuk. The 9-episode series.
Jesus.
Yeah, that
butchered.
thing.
Yeah, absolutely butchered. But yes, it is a 9-episode series. I'm pretty sure this is season 1. It will definitely lead into a season 2. It is essentially Battle Royale crossed with Parasite, the movie.
Oh, fuck. So the rich kids get all the best weapons on the island first?
It is awesome. It's pretty, it's pretty gripping. It's one of those... It's essentially Battle Royale. It's a new Battle Royale Hunger Games death game survival thing. It's a Korean drama, but it's so well shot and it's so gripping in places and goes in different places that you didn't expect. It's gruesome as hell and people die in terrible ways. But the premise is essentially that all these people then get, kidnapped. Well, not kidnapped, but sign up to play this game called the Squid Game.
There's a big gap between being kidnapped and willingly signing up for something.
Well, they sign up, but then when they get in the van, they get gassed, and then they get taken to the fine print. It's literally the same way as Battle Royale, when all the kids are on the bus and they get gassed, and then they get taken to an island. It's essentially the same thing. There's a lot of I think, stealing.
Make sure to read the fine print, kids.
But the games they play are like playground games, but adult versions.
Like Survivor?
Or like
Survivor, but they die.
Literal Survivor.
So yeah, the first one, I won't spoil it too much. The first one happens in the first episode. So the first one is called Red Light, Green Light, which is essentially like Werewolf in Japan. They have the same game. Someone looks and then someone turns around, and then if you are moving, you're out, right? And you have to try and get closer.
I was the asshole all along.
Hey, you're out, huh? You're out.
Yeah.
Right,
So
right,
when you're out in this, like, they have this giant huge robot doll that like turns around and stares at you, and it has like motion detecting eyes, and it detects all of the people moving. And then if it does, they get shot with a sniper rifle. It is brutal. It is so brutal and really bleak, but it's all like beautiful colors, and like all of the sets are like like really that creepy kind of like pastel child horror thing. It's awesome. I literally watched it in 2 days because I couldn't stop watching it. Every episode's about an hour long. The main character, a guy called Gi-hun, the actor who plays him is amazing. There's some really great characters in it. There's like this girl who's a North Korean who came over, and she tries to get money to bring her family over from North Korea to South Korea. It's really good.
You watched it in dub, right?
Of course. Yeah. No, wait. I watched it in sub. I don't think it has. I don't think it has English voices. You did. You got me. I was like, wait a second. What are you talking about? I don't think it has English voice acting, but it's subtitled.
It does. It does. Yeah,
okay, it does.
The trailers in English, and I was just like, oh no.
No, please. No. It's like Dark. Don't watch.
It's like watching Parasite in dub. Like, can you imagine?
Or Dark. Don't watch those. Like, the actors do incredible jobs, and in this, the acting is so good. It's brilliant, honestly. And the characters are great. The actual individual characters, of course, there's like 200 people, and then it whittles down or whatever. But it's really, really good. I highly recommend it. I couldn't stop watching it.
Yeah,
and now I'm like, season 2. Please make a new season 2. Please, 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 please.
Yeah, I have that and Ted Lasso because everyone keeps talking about it. So I have to
both of them. I would be my TV of the years. Like, I can't think of anything I've watched in a couple of years that have been as enjoyable as both of those. 2 drastically different TV shows. But yeah. Well, thank you for tuning in to Liam's Netflix No Chill and movie watching theater time. Good recommendations, though.
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna watch that. Yeah, that looks up my alley quite a bit.
I think you'll start binging it, like, and it does that typical thing where the episode ends and you're like, it's 3 a.m., but I really want to see what happens now.
Tonight, definitely. I see this outline. You guys haven't played many games, huh? Yeah, well, I've played Tales of Arise. No, I've beaten Tales of Arise.
Okay, don't spoil it. Don't spoil it, because I literally started today. Like an hour before we jumped on this podcast, I finally got time to start playing it.
So I'll just say, okay, this is the first Tales game that I actually beaten because I started playing Vesperia and all, and Interna or Sonata. Tales of
Zillia. There's Sonata. There's Zillia.
There's Zillia, Berseria.
Yeah.
How do they come up with these names?
Symphonia, Vesperia.
Symphonia. That's what it was.
Symphonia makes sense though, because it's all like music themed.
Abyss.
Yeah. This game held my interest completely. It is anime trash, but it's good anime trash. Like,
yay!
Like, it's just what I say last time. I said hopefully it's just a little bit better than what's that game that came out. There's Cold Vein, and there was another one that came out, Scarlet Nexus. Just a little.
Scarlet, you said if it's a little better than that.
And Scarlet Nexus.
It's absolutely a little bit better than that. It's a lot better than that because the characters are actually, there's no annoying kid, like in Vesperia. But yeah, like it's a pleasant surprise because the combat is like playing, it's like playing a Tales game mixed with Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
That's great.
To do like combos or something.
Slow. It starts off real slow, and you realize like, oh, the only difference between this Tales game and the other Tales game is that you can fall off of cliffs now. Like that's pretty, and you can jump. like this is not some fucking next revolutionary shit that people think. No, it's not. It's a Tales game. It looks a little better. You now can rush up ladders. and fall down cliffs. Like that's literally that's literally what it is. But like it's just enough to be way better. I mean, miles better with writing, combat, everything. Even though sometimes the writing can be a little jumbled, but I'll chalk it up to translation, and maybe this game was just way too big for them to patch up all the holes. Like sometimes you'll like they'll say like it'll be like the first time you're meeting like the owls, right? And you're like, no, I just got 2 owls before I got here. What do you mean this is the first time you're seeing an owl? Like it's just little weird stuff like that in the beginning.
Yeah.
But it gets ironed out.
Pacing things. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Because, they probably move some stuff around and they were like, fuck it. People are not going to notice. And most people don't.
Because
we're going to notice
complicated.
we play too many games. But yeah. Ooh, there goes Eddie.
I'm happy to hear it because it's the first PS5 game I've purchased. Because I played the demo and I really enjoyed it. And I was like, I really kind of want to play this game. And I was like, but I do want to play it on my PS5.
You didn't do Demon Souls?
No, not yet. No.
Man, this is like that $3,000 PC that you only use to play Minecraft joke.
But like, I wasn't expecting to like Tales of Arise demo so much, and then I'm happy to hear it's good. And I started playing it, and I was like, it does start off slow, but I was enjoying it, and I was like, the writing is pretty decent.
Yeah, it there's a
Very
lot of
serious
talking.
Story.
There's a lot of talking. There's a lot of like just dissecting every single thing. Their combat, why she uses a weapon, like all the conversation. There's this romance that happens, that you want to see the end of the game just to see and what would happen, how Japanese they fucking make it, and they definitely make it fucking Japanese. It was worth my $60. It was worth my. I'm glad to have played it. Like, that is the closest I've gotten to liking a JRPG. Other than like Demon Souls back in the day when I first played that, or some of the old PS2 days, and the last one is Persona.
Yeah. Well, do you really want to like classify Demon Souls as a JRPG? I mean, I guess, but like one of the things I'm noticing in the videos is that the combat for Tales of Arise looks fucking sick.
It is. The
like,
demo was super impressive.
Like there's all this mid-air juggling, like gravity canceling combos and really flashy switching between multiple characters.
It's so good.
So is JRPG combat finally okay? Well, are we like finally out of the 90s? Have all the memories of that 90s random encounter that swaps you to a different map with different models where everyone takes their turn, is that finally gone now?
I would love for it to be gone, but who knows?
I'm glad. Like, this is what Final Fantasy VII, like the remake, was pushing me towards. Like, this is the kind of combat that I want in JRPGs now. But
yep.
And isn't this the direction they're going in with 16 too? Like, they're doing some off DMC style combat for that one.
Yeah, it is. Personally, I much prefer it, and that's why the Tales of Arise demo really surprised. I mean, the game looks beautiful too. So the combat was really impressive, and I enjoyed the comboing and just how fun it felt to just wail away at things. It felt like Devil May Cry Light, but with, as a JRPG. So
it's still flashy with numbers flying around, but it's like way more readable than I'm used to. It's like, it's clean. I don't know if
it feels like a fighting game.
We can chalk that up to high resolution, or
it feels like a fighting game.
Like it's a big flashy light show, but you can actually tell what's happening.
I would say the only thing is I wish some battles are just great, and then some battles are just like, oh, okay, I'm just hitting them, like I'm talking about the boss battles. I'm talking about like boss battles. Like some battles are like, whoa, holy shit, this is fucking awesome, and then like it dwindles a bit sometimes, and it's just like, it's not like it's a bad boss fight, but it's not like as good as some of the other fights. I mean, it's a long game. I mean, what they accomplish, I would say they did a good job. They're better than all the other shit that's
How long-
coming out this
how-
year. So
How long did it take?
let me look on Steam here. It's probably like 40 hours.
That's
Okay,
how long
average.
the beat says.
No, 36 hours.
Okay,
Very
that's not
speedy.
too bad.
No, shaved it down a bit from the average. You're a speedrunner. You don't even know it.
At this point. Yeah. Well, faster than normal. I wouldn't say speedrunner. I've seen those guys, and those guys are crazy. Oh, I want to say, since you guys haven't played games, there is an indie game.
I did play one game, but yeah, Matt, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I see Deathloop on it. I want to hear about that. I've been thinking if I should
I'm
even try it or not.
Yeah, I'm
'cause
surprised.
just not
I thought
into
Matt would be coming in here being like, I already finished Deathloop. So I did honestly think that.
The big violence game of the winter.
Yeah, I don't go head first into the violence much, but like Dishonored, I don't know. I just don't want to play Dishonored. Is it Dishonored?
I think Dishonored had some problems. No, like Dishonored really has like a super duper solid action stealth system that gives you way too many rewards for ignoring it completely is the thing.
Yeah.
And Deathloop supposedly was like doing a lot to try and make sure that you do go loud. That I don't know. Liam actually can talk more about it, but it is something I'm really, really
I don't want to
interested in that
spoil
I've read a
whatever
lot on.
indie game Matt was going to talk about, but yeah, I can talk a little bit about Deathloop.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh my god, I'm sorry. We're all over the place.
No, go ahead. Oh, Deathloop. Like, is it?
Yeah. So I played. So I did pick it up. I played about 5 or 6 hours of it actually, and the first thing I noticed is there are so many mechanics that the game's tutorial, and it is a tutorial, is at least 3 to 4 hours long because the game, and that works in its favor because it is expertly designed to teach you the mechanics of the game without you kind of realizing it. And it's very well paced because there's a lot of stuff you need to make sense of. At the same time, my problems with Dishonored that George just mentioned are totally valid with Deathloop too. I saw an argument today, actually, Danny O'Dwyer had posted about the AI in Deathloop, and a lot of people complaining about the AI in Deathloop. And he was kind of in favor of where it's at, which is totally his point, because the idea is that Deathloop is meant to make you feel powerful. But to me, ultimately, it doesn't. What it does is means that I use this nail gun constantly, because all I have to do is shoot people in the head with a nail gun, and they quietly fall and die, and I can just walk past everybody, and I feel like a total waste of all of the powers that the game is trying to give me. I do. There are aspects of Deathloop I really enjoy. I think the voice acting and the characters of Juliana and Cole are they're very good. Very, very good. It's some of the best, most natural voice acting I've heard in a while, especially Colt. Whoa, it's very good. And the moments when Juliana invades you and starts chasing you, ooh, that's intense. That actually feels quite scary. But I have not died at all, and I'm terrible at games. And it's because all I have to do is shoot people in the head with a nail gun. It's quiet. AI can notice dead bodies and will do nothing about it. And there's no reason for me to use any of the powers the game has given me. Like I literally don't feel like I need to do anything. And
I'm glad I didn't get it.
That is such a familiar stealth game issue, because they're too afraid sometimes. With Dishonored, you had the blink, like that totally
you get
was
the blink
the
in this.
one and only move you needed the whole game.
Yeah, you get the blink in this, and it's helpful because there's a lot of like backtracking, because this is the other thing about Deathloop is you are going to be exploring the same environments. There's like 4 or 5 of them. You're going to be exploring them over and over and over again in different phases of the day, but they're essentially all the same environmental structure. And I have to admit, compared to Dishonored, Deathloop is kind of boring. To me, personally, it felt quite small and quite boxed in. There wasn't like secret rooms to go and explore and do stuffing. Like, especially Up Dumb, which is the first area you kind of explore.
What's Up Dumb?
Yeah, weird name, but it's just kind of boring. Like, easy to move around, not really any
well, maybe there's like a difficulty option or a mod or something that could make that nail gun a bit less overpowering. It sounds like the tranquilizer in a Metal Gear Solid.
It's not that, it's just that you can beat out the AI. And of course, of course, same as Dishonored, the creativity is there if you want to do it, right? If you are a type of player who can give yourself goals and not have the game do it for you, if you're able to just give yourself goals and be like, I'm gonna blink, and then I'm gonna push him, and then I'm gonna stop him, and I'm gonna throw a grenade and stick it to him, or you
freeze time, turn his bullet around back at him.
You can
crazy stuff.
You can do those things, but if you're just an average punter who's playing the game doesn't really, unless Juliana comes along, and even then with Juliana, all you're doing is pumping as many bullets as you possibly can into her, because of the way she'll just kill you. Your health does get shredded pretty easily, but it's so easy to just get out of combat situations or essentially kill enemies because they're like wet tissue paper. The game doesn't push you to explore that creativity very often. I don't know necessarily about later, of course, but at the same time, like, it's given me a lot of things already. I've explored every area. I've done a couple of days.
Oh.
And
I'm good.
Killed a couple of the visionaries. I think if you like it, and if you like Dishonored, then you know what to expect, right? Yeah.
3 years from now, George finally plays Deathloop.
And when I do, there might be some options around that kind of can rebalance things for greater Georgeability. I don't know.
Oh my god. That's crazy.
I love me some stealth games, but absolutely am so familiar with that problem of a stealth game that will give you that one tool that just completely turns it into a lightweight shooter game instead.
Yeah, and like
a tranquilizer and MGS completely
and you
overshadows a lot of cool things you can do.
So I like games that don't mind either, right? This game heavily leads into you should stealth, but at the same time, it gives you fucking loads of guns that you can just be like, all right, I'm just gonna kill everybody, and then you can kill everybody. And although your health gets shredded, you literally have 3 lives for every run. And
Does it send you to the start or something?
No, it rewinds you back a bit and makes you invincible.
Right, because it's the loop.
No. Before you die and start another loop, you actually get 3 lives inside of one loop.
That's cool.
So do the people you die stay dead?
It's almost like Sekiro's combat
twice.
Death. Yeah, but 3 times.
Okay.
And I have no idea, even me as a bad video gamer, I have no idea how you can die 3 times in one loop. There's not even enough enemies, I don't think, that could do that. Personally, I know a lot of people are enjoying it. I think, but I think the game's got a few questions. It's designed. The tutorial though is designed immensely well, and being a typical game designer thing, there's so many different mechanics and stuff going on that you can break, and there's all of this in-game writing that I'm just playing it and I'm getting anxiety thinking about how they made it and how the hell, from a technical standpoint, they figured out how to get players not confused about all these things. So kudos to them for that, because
it's gaming season, and there's so many games to play. That's gonna be lower on the list. Speaking of which, there's a lot, dude. New World is coming out. I know no one cares about MMOs.
Is that the Amazon one? I heard some good stuff about that.
I'm gonna play the shit out of that game for sure.
Yeah, it's an MMO.
Get my MMO fill from it and move on.
Nice.
Eastward.
Oh,
yeah.
Eastward.
So everybody's raving about this.
Cute.
It looks gorgeous.
Cute.
Pixel art is top tier.
Nice.
It is. Not only does it look good, but the animations for everything that would only be on the screen for 2 seconds is great. It's just so good. It's not your typical I'm going to go save the world type thing. You're playing this bum and this little girl, this guy who doesn't speak, and you just they don't really go back in the backstory yet. I'm 10 hours in. But in the cutscene, you see that he finds this girl and he's been taking care of her. But you'd never talk. She's the one who talks most of the time, and she's cute and stuff, and being a child.
She looks adorable.
Yeah, it's like it's more like you're playing this game to like be involved in stories as you move about the world, instead of it being like, we need to go here and collect this stone, this gem that's gonna help us defeat the evil boss. No, it's just, you're just going through life almost. It's very different. I think I haven't played Mother or Earthbound.
Yeah, it reminds me super heavily of Mother 3.
I think a lot of it, because there's this game called Earthborn in there where you can play a game within a game, and there's like this what do you call those machines when you put a quarter and you turn the knob and something comes out? Those little pods.
Oh, like a gacha machine.
Gotcha. Yeah. They have those that you can use inside the game, and it has like a little RPG in the game. Yeah, it's crazy.
Aww.
And it's like and people talk about it. Like it's very interesting how they layered these two games together. But like, it's kind of like Zelda. You go around, you have like he's like a cook, so he like hits everyone with a pan. And then you get like weapons later on as well. She has like her own ability. Yeah, it's about this world that is like corrupted by this like diseased black thing that comes around and swallows everything up, and that's basically all you know. You're just trying to escape bullshit, and that's pretty much it. And then you meet and you do random stuff. You help the circus. You do this. You do, like, it's just random. It's just random shit. It's
this?
cute.
It's like there's a black miasma, the nothing is invading the world and creating monsters that you fight with the frying pan while like helping out the circus and dealing with real life problems.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's I gotta say, like, I enjoy every minute of it. I don't know if it's like the best game I ever played or anything like that, but it's just hits the spot of just a good game that's just different from the stuff that you usually play, which is why I play indie games most of the time anyway. Because that's the only way I can actually feel something.
Yeah.
This world is filled with fucking AAA.
Maybe you should stop
trash.
playing the Squid Game.
Yeah. Oh no.
You should join the Squid Game.
Oh, I'm good.
Well, like the nail gun that Liam was talking about in Deathloop, like, really brings up to light, I think, a big interesting issue with AAA design, and that is how. And in Dishonored too, like, there'll be a lot of really interesting creative stuff going on, but still like something there to make it easy enough for mass audiences to get through the game and experience the story and the artwork well enough without having to cross over the accessibility hurdles of a lot of more interesting, challenging stuff going on in gameplay. And I think it's a real thing. Like indie games like do not have to have
they don't have to have a
tranquilizer gun.
They don't have to have a crutch.
They don't have to make a niche genre game mass marketable for mainstreams. That's why the feeling is there. That's why it's like eating fast food rather than your own HelloFresh.com/bunnyhop,
Wait, do you have a HelloFresh?
I don't have a HelloFresh sponsorship, but I do have a HelloFresh subscription I've been using.
Yeah, I might do the same, actually.
Yeah, no, it's a little more expensive than the grocery store, but it's
convenient.
It cuts out the middleman, and the recipes are always really good, and it's amazing having like carrots and veggies around the house in your diet. I guess that wouldn't be as hard for you, but
I eat my fruits and vegetables, George.
For a fat, disgusting slob like me, buying carrots at the grocery store does not come. It does not come naturally. Like I'll buy some salad and make a George salad and whatnot, but like carrots and sweet potatoes, like things that actually still taste bitter as an adult, when you get over your fear of veggies, that's I mean, I'll eat them, but I won't buy them. HelloFresh fixes that problem. Go to HelloFresh.com and sponsor us, please. Anyways.
Yeah, games.
I think I'm gonna play Eastward at some point. It's just the pixel art is too beautiful to ignore, and I've seen it going around a lot. I just kind of wondered what the combat was. I'm not really in the mood for something that's a lot of talking, but I do feel like I really want to, especially considering the mother comparisons. I do want to.
Oh yeah,
I do want to give it a go.
It's a lot of talking for sure. I mean, but it like constantly goes like. The maps are not huge, like or dungeons or areas or whatever you want to call it. Like they're not huge. They're straight to the point. Like it's nice. It's clean pacing, very clean pacing.
Cool.
Yeah,
some good stuff this week. You know, even
really
Deathloop is a good time, right? I feel like we're in that end game of like every year where just all of a sudden every game that comes out is like a banger and a banger and a banger, right? Like Sable came out today or yesterday.
I saw that. Yeah.
And like, you know, Sable's getting good reviews. And
what about the Bridge of Spirits? That game? What is that game?
Yeah, Kenna came out, and that got surprisingly good reviews as well.
I need to play that next. Yeah, that's
so
on the list.
You're going for Kenna over Deathloop, huh?
Fuck yeah. I don't want to play no fucking Death. I don't like Dishonored that much. Like I beat the first one and that was it. I was done. The second one I tried to get into it like 3 times. It's another gun game. I don't know. Like when I'm in the mood, maybe, but probably not.
What about Battlefield 2042 then? Because that's soon. They just delayed it. It was scheduled to be it was scheduled to be November.
I'll probably play that because I haven't played a Battlefield game in years. I would love to be a medic and resurrect people that constantly run into danger over and over and over again.
The Halo Infinite free-to-play mode, that's going to be...
I mean, I'll probably play Halo.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely playing for the campaign, at least. Like,
November is going to be...
Actually,
November is going to be a big month, guys.
Legendary.
November is going to be
October
huge.
as well, because, I mean, I'm not going to play it, but Far Cry 6, of course, will come out, and most people play that.
Fuck Far Cry 6.
One game I am going to play, and this is, of course, not just because of my face being in it, but... Guardians of the Galaxy got previews today, and I read some of them, and people said it was really fun and stuff. So I'm like, I was already kind of in it, and now
I feel like
I'm gonna play.
With all the publicity you're getting now, though, we have to do an official disclaimer that that's not your official likeness, just an unofficial.
On October 26th, play as me in Guardians of the Galaxy. Marvels.
Yeah, it just won't say his name on the credits or under the model because they're shafting you out of the royalties you're owed for that. Of course, just want to give a real official gamer disclaimer here.
It's Liam's Guardian of the Galaxy, okay?
After you have your say in court, it will be on the box.
I'm gonna make sure Square Enix realize this, or Eidos Montreal. One of them's gonna reach out to me about this. But no, so the previews came out, and I have an interest in the game anyway, especially after the most recent PlayStation thingy, which showed it off a bit more. I didn't realize it was coming so soon, but it looked really promising. And then thankfully, the previews are kind of backing that up, saying it actually is kind of interesting. So definitely gonna play that.
That's something that happened between the last episode and this one, though, was a big-ass PS5 showcase that was, like, kind of sort of showing how the corporations are shifting away from E3 to have events throughout the whole year instead. So there were a shitload of announcements there that I actually forgot to put on the outline. But they're doing a Marvel Spider-Man 2. They're remaking Knights of the Old Republic. They're... which just said one of the logo teasers, so we don't get to know what next gen remake of Knights of the Old Republic looks like yet. But they're next year and the year after are also looking like video games might be a little closer to back to normal again.
I mean, yeah, we'll get through these things, and then it'll be January, and it'll be Elden Ring time. And
God of War Ragnarok. is going to be a thing. Some next gen style visuals can be seen in that trailer. The hack and slash Korean game Project Eve. I made a really embarrassing mistake on Twitter when I thought it was a Japanese game at first, because I mean, fuck me, right? But yeah, I think it's just so cute how like biblical imagery and biblical language is so boring and dry and dusty for Western audiences, but for Asian audiences, they have these video games where you play as like a big-titted, big-assed warrior woman named Eve who's slashing her way through the Nephilim to liberate the divine realms from the evil corruption of their own creation. Like, they turn Bible stuff into the sickest, raddest shit. What else was there? Oh, Uncharted 4, the spin-off games are getting remastered too. I guess we'll...
Always.
Alan Wake is getting remade. That's a weird choice.
Alan, how many Alan Wakes have there been?
There was
been
Alan
one,
Wake, and then a
DLC.
spin-off named Alan Wake's American Nightmare.
Yeah, it was DLC. I actually really enjoyed Alan Wake.
Oh my god.
So I'm not going to play it again, but I did really enjoy it when it first came out. I don't know what. It's like a cult classic, so I don't know.
Is
It's
it?
such a tech demo game for the 6th gen consoles. I wonder what the
Really?
jump is going to look like.
I
Yeah,
thought
it was really
I heard it
impressive
was
back in the
trash.
day.
I heard it was
I
trash.
really
enjoyed
okay, but the graphics were gorgeous. The
was like a-
environments were gorgeous.
It was like a kind of reborn Silent Hill to me, kind of.
Yeah, but I
It's
wish it
better
didn't
than
have
any
the...
Silent Hill game that's come out since what?
True.
Homecoming?
Since Alan Wake. Yeah, Homecoming was...
Yeah, like it's
Shattered Memories was the last good one, and that was like 2006 or something,
Is that the one on
2007.
the Wii? Which was the one on the Wii?
It's the one on the Wii with the really awkward sex scene.
The one with the
Oh,
where you have to
Shattered
run away
Memories
from
is-
things. Yeah.
And take the psychologist survey at the beginning about what your biggest phobias are so the game can exploit them against you. Yeah, it was neat. Alan Wake was neat. But yeah, remember like the whole ordeal with the game was having to shine a flashlight on monsters and then shoot them with a gun a few times. But it was a really big showcase for cutting edge lighting and shadow techniques at the time. So it'll be interesting to see if they try now with the next gen switching over, phasing in another one, if they're gonna try going for another impressive, hard-hitting tech demo experience, or sticking with what was impressive and hard-hitting 10 years ago. I doubt we care about Gran Turismo 7. Oh, but Liam's favorite game of all time, Grand Theft Auto 5, is getting...
When you said Gran Turismo, I got chills because you started with Grand and then you actually did say Grand Theft Auto 5.
The
So
suspense. Grand Theft Auto 5 is getting another remastered.
did you see Did you see the response though from people? Oh,
Are people hating on it?
it got. What is it? People, the kids say massively ratioed.
Ratioed. Let's see that
Massively.
YouTube dislike meter.
Massively
Yeah,
ratio.
I mean, it's not that I'm like angry about it or anything, but it's pretty funny that it keeps coming out.
It was like
3
updated
generations over
graphics,
10
and you're like
years.
watching it, and you're like,
Yeah, I guess.
updated. I see.
mean, I can sort of empathize with the whole, like, it kind of sort of feels like it twists the dagger into that whole, like, oh, there's 10 years to wait between Elder Scrolls bitching that I do. But, like, I have less of an investment in the Grand Theft Auto series, but yeah, it is kind of weird, come to think of it. It takes more than 10 years to make a sequel for a big AAA Explorathon type of game.
Oh, I imagine they're fully. I'm positive they are fully in development on the next one. They have a cash cow that they can milk, and they will milk
Man.
it because even if it gets ratioed, it doesn't matter.
Welcome back to
Oh.
Los Santos, kids.
That's what I wanted to ask you. I don't think I got a chance to ask you. Did you watch the Free Guy?
No, I didn't actually. Did you? You
did.
spoke about it last time,
I
right?
spoke about it last time, and there's this developer, the head developer, that's super wacky. Did you see any? Yeah.
It's Taika Waititi, right?
What does he remind you of any heads that you've worked for in the past?
I haven't seen the movie, but he just comes across as an asshole. So yeah, he could remind me of some
I'm
people.
gonna have to ask you something after the podcast. Now I'm thinking about it, like you probably wouldn't say it out loud.
I
Okay,
haven't
never mind.
seen it, so I don't know. But he seems like an asshole in the trailers, and so I imagine he, of course, seems like some bosses that people have had.
Shit. The GTA 5 PS5 trailer has 226 dislikes on YouTube and 226k and 30k likes.
Oh,
exactly are people hating? That it doesn't look as good, like as
the fact
PC
that
with mods or something?
they're selling GTA 5 again without doing anything.
Doesn't Todd do it all the time with Skyrim?
The childhoods we grew up on had us expecting a new sequel for whatever franchise we give money to every like 3-4 years. It's that thing. It's the 10 years to create a new Elder Scrolls gripes.
Yeah. I'm not gonna buy that.
I bought a PS4 copy of Red Dead Redemption 2 and never played it. And now that a PC copy of it exists that's going to run smoother and be cheaper, I kind of regret it. I wish I had done that. I don't know. Never mind. I'm just going to
You know what I want? Persona 5 for PC. When is that coming out?
Isn't that actually
Have you not had enough, Matt? Have you had enough?
No.
PC.
No, Persona's really
you got
good.
Persona 5 you got Persona 5 Strikers on PC. Is that not good enough?
Fuck that. I don't want that fucking what do you call it? The warrior
Muso
shits, man. I don't want that.
Muso shits.
I don't want that, man. And plus it has spoilers in it. I wanna fucking play the first one first. I want Royal, dude. I want Royal on PC. God damn it. I want Royal on PC. Someone make it happen.
Maybe. That's what the big Persona 25th anniversary announcement will be. It'll be like, and now, announcing our brand new game, Persona 5 Royal for PC.
I am okay with that. And I will buy it day one, George.
For $80.
For $80.
Well, then just try and remember what it was like when you didn't have $80 to throw around while you do it. That's all I ask.
What do you mean $80 to throw around? If it's something, I gotta support developers, right? What do you want me to do? Steal it?
Well, not Persona. If it was GTA, on the other hand.
Steal it.
Steal it.
Steal my name back. Take it back.
Like Marvel stole your face.
Yeah. God. Everyone's doing me dirty this month.
I'll try not to take that personally.
You said we were going to talk about it, and this man just... We were listeners are like, what are you talking about? Doing dirty? Like, what's happening?
You will never know. People.
I'm more interested in doing the dirty.
Whoa.
Anyways,
with that, the news.
Should we do new? I mean, I have the mildest of media experiences that were kind of fun things to go through, but they're not video games.
What have you been doing, George? How have you entertained yourself? Usually news is what entertains you.
It is. And the news this week did entertain me, which feels like doing other people dirty the longer it goes on. But anyways,
Yes.
I opened up the can of Hunt Showdown again and played too much of that this week.
No.
And that's the
thing.
I'm also replaying the Subnautica games, but I also had a much more pleasant evening, hanging out with some old Discord friends and watching a movie, I finally got around to seeing The Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Oh, good movie.
Wes Craven.
So not only do you wait years to play games, you also wait years to watch movies, huh?
Yes.
I'm giving you shit. Go ahead.
I wonder how many years I'll be kicking around living. Anyways, yeah, Fantastic Mr. Fox is like 12 years old at this point, and it was fun. It was good. I don't regret it, but at the same time, I wonder if like some really weird production fuckery was happening behind the scenes here, because it feels like an adult cartoon that got turned into a children's movie that's based on a beloved Roald Dahl children's book that has a completely different style and tone, that also switches moods and themes halfway through the movie, that also ultimately stars and embraces and celebrates a kind of anti-hero protagonist, which is weird for a children's movie too. Like, he's not a moral role model for the kids.
I think it's great. I love the movie. I thought it's one of my favorite animated movies.
It still looks good. It still
brilliant.
looks good.
Well, what about the close-ups on the faces though?
What do you mean?
Because like I was noticing another thing where like the backgrounds and landscapes and the character models full body look fine, but when there's a close-up on a character's face, it's a little terrifying.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's all just puppets anyway, so.
Well, they kind of look like dead animal taxidermy puppets, and I'm posting some screenshots of some of my least favorite faces from the Fantastic Mr. Fox. So maybe you guys can have a harsh blast from the memory to compare with the nostalgia. But this movie will go from looking cute and adorable and absolutely aesthetically pleasing to these horrifying nightmare faces. And I'm wondering, like, was that the intention?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Yes, probably.
And
I like that movie a lot. I think it's one of Wes Anderson's like underappreciated.
Oh, but when I saw Grand Budapest Hotel, I was a wreck by the end.
Yeah,
I was laughing, I was
movie.
crying. I did not question anything in Grand Budapest Hotel. I thought it was one of the best movies I've ever seen. So that's kind of where my expectations were.
It follows the same tone as Fantastic Fox. It's happy, it's sad, it gets dark. It's literally about like Nazis.
Christ.
Come on.
Correct. My God.
And also, I just sort of wonder if the second half of the movie was supposed to be as full of like body humor gags and pratfalls and slapstick as the first half of the movie seems to suggest, which is all clever dialogue and fun cutaway gags and quippiness. And also Mr. Fox's accent as portrayed by George Clooney is fun and everything, but everyone else is British and he's not, and it kind of threw me off throughout the whole thing.
I can't remember it that well, whether or not, but I found the voice acting great. I thought George Clooney and Bill Murray did a great job.
I did not think to question anyone else's voices, which I guess means they were good. But Mr. Fox himself, you could tell, was George Clooney rather than a British fox.
I think that was the mission
to steal rabbits.
I think he was meant to be a suave fox.
I mean, I still think I can stand the fox from Zootopia more.
Oh,
if I'm rolling around in bed at night thinking of like a heroic, handsome dad with a sense of humor and a criminal streak, the fox from Zootopia is still maybe holding a bigger place in my heart.
Well, I don't even know how to respond to this.
Come on, Mr. Fox versus Nick Wilde. Let's make a Smash Brothers spinoff starring everyone's favorite furry CGI children's or claymation style characters and have them battle. Because I bet Nick Wilde, the fox from Zootopia, would totally kick the Fantastic Mr. Fox's ass.
Wow. We're having battles now.
Oh, yeah. husbandu battle. Let's go.
Didn't expect we'd be here, but here we are.
Yeah.
We go all sorts of fun places on this podcast. Sometimes,
Sometimes
we-
by himself.
and then we go to low places like the news. I mean, we already like briefly mentioned some fun announcements from that PlayStation showcase, but in harder news, there's the Blizzard lawsuit is escalating. The U.S. government Security Exchange Commissions is now investigating. A lot of their higher up legal and financial people are resigning, and a communications workers union is filing a lawsuit against them related to unfair labor charges regarding the harassment and the exclusionary promotions. Another big Sega arcade in Tokyo is closing down. The Ikebukuro Gigo. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. Liam, am I saying that wrongly?
You said Ikebukuro wrong, but I don't know about the second one.
Bukuro. I remember this one. I have been to this one.
Yeah, it's the big red one. That's why. It's the big
Yeah,
red
the big
one.
red one's closing down.
It's iconic.
It's gonna be a big red something else in a while.
Probably fashion. Probably shops.
Quantic Dream has won a lawsuit in the French libel courts against the publication who put out their initial allegations about him. I just said him. About Quantic Dream bosses. We all know the one. Photoshopping people onto dildos and nude models and stuff. It turns out that the publication either did not want to or could not want to give up their sources' identities to further proof their allegations against them, and that that Quantic Dream won. There is a higher standard for burden for proof in libel and defamation cases in non-American countries as a general rule, so I'm not too hung up about this, especially since they've also had anonymous lawsuits from people circulating around similar complaints of the harassment that Le Monde was reporting on. But yeah, the battle over harassment on both sides of the pond is continuing and going both ways against the evil bosses in America, and at least one small way maybe towards the evil bosses in France. But the big news this week is that the Epic lawsuit is ... over ? We're going to be hearing news of Apple and, well, Epic, I guess, would be the one trying to appeal, but they both came away worse than they started, while at the same time setting up a future for a digital mobile app industry that may be slightly brighter than the present. The lawsuit ended with the judge deciding that you both lose. Apple is hereby permanently restrained from prohibiting developers from including a call to action to pay on a external third-party store that will not give them their 30% cut. Meanwhile, Epic, for so blatantly, knowingly, provably violating their contract with Apple and releasing a pre-canned hashtag free Fortnite social media awareness campaign for the kids the second they knowingly broke the rules and expected their game to get taken off the iOS store, they're not allowed to go back. The judge decided that they broke the rules, that Apple is totally legal and allowed to take their store down, or their app down, and they also have to pay Apple 30% of the revenue that they have earned in that time. The judge also agreed that I think this was, I did not predict for the judge to change the rules for there to allow more third-party app sales on the iOS marketplace. That didn't go to my prediction, but what I was predicting is that their Epic's argument over Apple being a monopoly would get totally blown out of the water. That did happen. The opinion paper published says that while the court finds that Apple enjoys considerable market share of over 55% and extraordinarily high profit margins, these factors alone do not show antitrust conduct. Success is not illegal is the language used. That's a scary phrase to think about, though, when you think of how many ways you can become legally successful and ways that
absolutely.
are not good.
I'm a successful drug dealer, sir. Can you please?
Let
me off.
It's fentanyl and opioids I give to my patients.
Yes.
Nothing wrong there, right, kids?
Nothing's wrong.
I'm a very successful murderer, I'll have you know.
I get paid by the prisons, the for-profit prisons, to put death row inmates out of their misery. Yes.
Yes.
It's a big business, actually. The court did not find that it's impossible, only that Epic Games failed in its burden to demonstrate that Apple is an illegal monopoly. So Epic came away as the bigger of the two losers, even though one of the goals they wanted still came through. It's a really, really interesting verdict that I think opens a lot of interesting possibilities for the future. I would expect there to be a slightly larger amount of better mobile games, a much larger amount of worse mobile games with worse pop-up ads, directing you through annoying messages to go to stores elsewhere from the Apple Store. I do not suspect this will cause much of a dent in Apple's budget, or too much of an experience for your more hardcore mobile game connoisseurs who like the 3 or 4 good mobile games that come out a year. Maybe now that there's a little bigger, wider of a funnel of money coming to them, maybe there'll be like 5 to 7 good mobile games a year.
Well, Epic put their money where their mouth is and actually went to tackle the problem. I have to give them kudos for that. And especially if it does open a better mobile marketplace and rev share for all developers, not just, of course, huge ones like Epic. But they did put their money where their mouth is and follow this thing through, even though they kind of lost, and so did Apple. Yeah, Epic actually didn't really lose, I think. I think it's as expected, probably. But what is going to be the problem is the long-term tail.
At first, I thought they won.
I think everybody did.
It takes a slightly closer reading of the verdict to realize that, like, oh, you both lost. One of you bigger than the other. It's just you're like kind of sort of making a sacrifice so smaller companies can get thrown a little bit of a bone from all the trouble and something like $30 million they spent on this thing. Definitely an unexpected outcome. I want to say like reluctantly positive, slightly positive outcome, compared to what I think people were expecting from two absolutely questionably moral industry heavyweights slinging stuff at each other like, sir, do you know you were marketing a nude banana to children? Sort of arguments in the court. Do you guys remember that? It's just a banana man.
It's just a banana man.
It's just a banana man.
What is this nudity?
And when he wears the tuxedo, he is Agent Pewley, correct, Your Honor?
What the fuck universe do we live in?
We also got to find out how much the Epic Store exclusivity deals are. That the lowest games on the list get 50K, and the highest games on the list get like 200K, and then GTA 5 got 2 million.
Damn. Where's my money? Where's my money?
It's weird to think that like the bright spots for my days over the past 2 years have been reading updates on the Epic Apple lawsuit, which is how I know that I'm a old miserable curmudgeon. But yeah, what do you guys think, Liam? Do you have some special industry insight as one who has made big fancy mobile games before, and how the economics of that situation works? What do you think is going to be the
only
change
thing
here?
The only thing I hope out of this is that it just means that all storefronts take a look at themselves before they get attacked by developers in terms of like what is a complete. I think Valve is the other key one really in terms of like complete market cornering, therefore that are untouchable, and Epic are in that wheelhouse now. I think we'll feel ripples of just how much storefronts take money from people. I mean, 30% is huge, right? So
it's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. It's a lot of fucking money. If you are a game developer and you sell your game and you make 100K, 30K of that money goes to Apple just for putting it on there. It's insane.
Kind of makes you think about taxes, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck taxes.
And you have to pay your taxes on top of that, you know? But Apple don't pay taxes, and Google don't pay taxes. They get 30%.
When you have to owe as a self-employed person in the United States, it really brings to light like why Republicans exist.
Do you have an
It
LLC?
sucks.
Do you have an LLC?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank God. Thank God.
No, it doesn't change anything
It
on mine.
does. You save like $5,000 at least.
Not me.
You need to get a better. You need to get a better.
I guess.
You need to get a better manager.
I need to get a better life. Hey, you guys want to answer some questions?
Speaking of better lives,
I
yes.
hope these guys have better lives than I do.
Oh my God. You need to.
Listener questions. If you,
You
want to
have a
send us
dog.
listener.
You have a
Yeah,
dog.
but it wasn't big enough to fill the hole, and I ended up.
Me and Liam are
Wasting
just lonely.
tired
Me and
That's
Liam
days
because
of
he's a
my life.
small dog.
just.
You should have
doing
got a
stuff
bigger
and
dog. And it
lonely.
would have.
Yeah.
I
Get
didn't
more. Get
have
a cat.
choice of dog. Dogs don't choose to exist. We all should have dogs. There's like 5 million dog pets and
Nah,
8
I'm good.
million unowned dogs. There are more dogs that need homes than not.
I wish.
And
I truly wish I could.
And they have
Yeah.
like feelings and dreams and some degree of intelligence. They deserve decent lives. Anyways,
Agreed.
listener questions. If you'd like to send in listener questions to maybe improve our lives a little bit with, mail them in to dadandsonspodcast@gmail.com.
Jesus.
Inbox is a little dry, been a while, but the Patreon is always popping up. We
Discord's
take questions
popping.
in our Patreon Discord channels as well. I got a couple of those on the list. First up's a silly one from the inbox, though. Addison M. is going to ask us, if you had to form a barbershop quartet, who would be your fourth member and what would you sing?
Ooh, who would be our fourth member?
Nitro Dad.
We would sing She Shanties.
Say that again.
Sea Shanties.
Say it
Did I
again.
say
Yeah, say it 3 times faster.
Sea Shanties, She Shanties, She Tanties. She Tanties.
That was
Panties.
for free. Panties.
I think we definitely need to balance this sausage fest. It would have to be a woman. It would
Yeah,
have
Matt is the baritone, of course.
Wait, not me.
to be.
George is the
Me.
mid. I'm
I'm not the bass.
No, George
No,
is like
Matt.
high. George is high.
He's not. I don't think he's higher than me.
The voice in my head is not high. When I hear myself talk, it doesn't sound high.
It's when he screams, you know. He could be like this.
Oh, yeah, we're
Yeah.
talking about the wah things, aren't we?
Also, it doesn't specifically say who, so we could choose anybody in the
Right.
entire world to
Oh,
balance us out.
oh, really? Rihanna then?
Yeah, why not?
Fucking Rihanna. You
She
know
could
what I
probably do
mean?
high and bass. so- or Adele or somebody.
You know, oh, Adele. Oh my God. But I'll be
One
crying. I
Dell,
wouldn't be able to
please.
sing. I'll be crying hearing her sing. I'm like,
Yeah.
God damn,
I'd be
girl, you
like,
still got
sing
it.
Skyfall, please. Please sing Skyfall for me.
Jesus. Dude, Adele's the worst person to be listening to during rough times. Okay. You add a little weed to that and then you're just a
moping
puddle.
your tears out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ice cream,
away.
just barrels and barrels of ice cream, dude. Fucking Rocky
delicious.
Road.
What would we sing though? So sea shanties is fine, but is there anything else?
There should be a lot of good choices. You know, singing along is such an important human experience that I feel
agreed.
is something everyone in history enjoyed up until radio and records, and the early terms they used was canned opera because people were so much used to singing and the bars together and the taverns, going to the operas and the theaters for their evening's entertainment. And now it's like I feel like that is one of the reasons sea shanties got so popular over the pandemic, is that synchronizing with your fellow humans feels good. in a way that has kind of fizzled out of the human experience since music became manufacturable and recordable. When you read Lord of the Rings, that is how they occupy their time marching through the mountains, is singing songs. And when you read tales of old labor, that's how workers would occupy their time, is singing songs. And
Yeah,
I wonder if we're missing that. Like, if we were born in a time where this important part of being human, something we can do that animals can't do, is something we're just missing out on.
I think we should go for the classics, like Brown Sugar by the Rolling Stones or China Girl by David Bowie.
Wait.
Or,
so, like, why songs about why
Illegal Alien
picking...
by Genesis, you know? Just
Why
like
that's a good one.
I've
been singing that recently.
Why are you picking all these songs about being horny for ethnic minorities?
I'm picking racist songs. That's what I'm picking. And Leo just got caught up in that shit.
Oh,
I'm an illegal alien.
Because we're talking about old times. I don't know. I even if the songs were racist sometimes, I think.
Oh boy! Just pause. Don't finish that sentence. Just don't understand. I'm probably like 10% of the audience racist we have here. Wow, the wins are just being handed out.
But it's still like a fun experience, right? Like, nowadays we do it in karaoke, but it feels like you could do it anywhere.
Oh yeah,
we can sing Hotel California, because
why do we need a karaoke machine to sing Hotel California with our friends?
We don't. I know pretty much all the lyrics.
It's capitalism. It's all capitalism, corrupting art.
But it's still fun. Karaoke, that is, not singing racist songs. That's not fun.
So Brown Sugar is a racist song, huh? Okay.
I just looked up a list.
I guess I'm just gonna have to put that one in the desk. I mean, now. I'm not allowed to listen to Brown Sugar anymore.
I mean, a lot of things you notice were pretty fucking wrong. This is what I said one time, and it got cut out. Okay, this was years ago. George has something fever. This, for people who remember TLVG podcast, this is what I said to get this reaction. He's like, "That's disgusting, Matthew," or something like that, and I got been a soundbite for so long. I wonder if we still have that.
I missed it. What is going on now?
Yeah. I don't know, but it's disgusting.
Yeah. He's like, "That's disgusting, Matthew." And like, you'll remember it. Mm-hmm. Oh my god. Yeah.
But I mean, the only fever I have is a fever for life, right?
Yeah.
Typer on Discord has another question.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, dads, we got our first real hoodie season where I live in southeast Michigan, which means there's now going to be tons of rain and chilly, damp weather that doesn't stop, and the sun is going to disappear behind gray clouds forever. This instantly triggered something in my brain to open up a window, load up Steam, and play Half-Life. That's my question. Do you have a personal, inexplicable brain connection between a video game or series and the weather or seasons?
Huh?
Well, I always do a Halloween Bloodborne night.
Oh,
or two.
That's good. I like that.
Oh, it's so good. It's such a good Halloween game.
I never do any of these things. I don't understand. I've heard that before. You play scary games on scary nights. I just go out and dress up.
Oh, okay. He's a social animal over here. I have friends. I'm at visual.
But no. But that's also stereotypical though. Like going out and dressing up. Like everyone does that shit. You see that shit in shows.
Oh, sure. Everyone does. It's so easy.
What do you mean? Wait, what? I don't know what's happening here, but no.
People do, yeah. I understand what you mean. Halloween, everybody tends to go out.
No, everyone has a cool, sexy party with all their
no.
800 friends.
I think Matt's point is that the stereotype is that everybody goes out. Not everybody stays at home playing Bloodborne.
Well, what are you doing in between going out? Like,
That's surely a long
you
game,
play
George. long and
Well, I don't
stressful
play
game.
all the way through it. I don't play all the way through most things. I just play Bloodborne a couple nights over Halloween and hopefully get to the Charno Lane where all the witches live, because that is a Halloween as fuck level. But I mean, it gives me the vibes that I think my body's circadian rhythm needs for that time of the year. We're all just like little specks on a planet rotating around a sun. We have seasonal body schedules based on where that planet is in its rotation, and we got billions of years of DNA in us of ancestors who had to adapt to each season or survive. So I think there's something a little comforting about having a routine attached to the seasons. In Japan, they're so obsessed with changing everything for every season, right, Liam? They love talking about how
Fried chicken
it's
and-
whatever season.
Fried chicken in on Christmas, right? KFC.
Yep.
Weirdest,
Don't they like change the
weirdest thing I've
school
ever
uniforms for the seasons and like change the television programming lineup? Like, isn't anime marketed by the season?
I mean, I don't know, but like as it gets towards Christmas and stuff like that, I do feel the need or urge to play
Oh yeah,
blanket games.
Security blanket games. Yeah, Christmas makes me want to play N64. Not any N64 games. I just want to hold the
literally,
controller.
Just
on like a tube TV.
games. Yeah, I get the urge to play more retro games. And
I have to try this out because I just don't. I don't do this stuff. That's so interesting to
Well,
me.
maybe you've ascended.
I watch like I don't know, movies and stuff.
yeah, I
don't
think it's very similar. Like I would watch movies or listen to music. For me, Christmas is like more music orientated for sure. Like
yeah.
but
something to trigger that. Oh, I gotta bundle up for the winter and hoard all my food for months and prepare to die because this is when it's likely to happen.
For me, it's more cartoons actually. I definitely watch more animated stuff.
I always want to play a Zelda game during summer. Maybe it's the strong association with childhood summers, but Zelda feels like a summertime adventure.
Here's one that's out of the ordinary. I love during Christmas time when you go out or you go shopping for people or whatever like that. There's Christmas music. There's like, all the lights are up. I love that shit.
Oh,
me too.
I love that shit.
I am a absolute sucker for Christmas. It is the only time of the year I get homesick being in Japan.
Oh God, because I have that music stuck in my head from working too many shifts over Christmas.
Oh yeah.
So like all
the bells were ringing out for Christmas Day.
That's the worst. To work retail during holidays. Yeah, it's like the worst.
All three of us have done that, right?
Yes. Yeah. And you're just like, why am I not fucking home eating good fucking food?
Why do I suddenly hate everything?
Yeah. So I'm surprised to hear you guys say that, because I feel like if we asked the question a few years ago when we all had more retail oriented jobs, you two would be like, oh, I hate Christmas retail season and how the music loops forever and how the annoying decorations will get smashed up by customers inevitably. And
I like Christmas. I hate people.
We hate the working retail. That has everything to do with the job, not the actual holiday. Anything can be shit with the wrong people. And working retail sucks during that time because people are stupid and gross and I don't know, they're angry because they can't get their fucking, I don't know, whatever thing for their kid or girlfriend.
Tickle me Elmos.
Or like it's just like they take it out on everybody and the first person they're gonna take it out on is you. And that's why I try to be nice when I'm fucking inside these stores now. Even when they're giving me attitude, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna find somebody else. I'm just
I tend to try and stay away during that period.
I've been there, and that's why I left it. I've been there. I don't want to do that anymore.
Selling Wiimotes to old grandmothers who didn't know what a Wii was.
Yeah.
But that didn't ruin the music for you guys? Because it absolutely did for me. I can't stand Christmas music anymore.
It's like when I stop reviewing games. I enjoy games way more. Way more. I used to do it.
Yeah, when I was a kid,
actively.
I would be like, my parents would play the same goddamn Christmas songs all the time. But now I'm an adult and I choose to do it. I'm like, yeah, Wham! Last Christmas, let's do it.
No, I don't want to hear Wham's Last Christmas.
For me, it's got a little bit of different tone because if I'm
Wham.
entirely honest, Christmas in the UK is the best period being in the UK. Our winters are dark and horrible and they last forever, but Christmas is this bright light that is, and it's easily for a arguably now modern UK, a very unreligious country. It is the one holiday of the year, because we don't have Thanksgiving, that everybody kind of enjoys, and it's the big deal. It's the big one in the UK. So I think for me it's the only time, especially being in Japan, that I get homesick. Yes, Matt, well done. Let's do it. It's almost October. We can get into it. Yeah.
I love when people start putting Christmas lights up in Halloween, and you're like, "Yo, dude, it's not that time yet."
Yeah, chill the fuck out. Yeah, chill the fuck out.
Like, what are you doing? Oh, he's jamming. And then George. Oh my God.
George's Schitt's Creek gift game got up too.
George, have you given Schitt's Creek a try?
No.
Do you want to? Like, is it that?
Maybe.
You should try some of these, like, these types of shows. They're small, bite-sized, and I mean, you might get into it. It's not quite like BoJack, which is like you like that misery. There's misery in this one, but a different type of misery. Like, you like to laugh at rich people, right? This might be a good show. Because it definitely
He likes
gets
to laugh at the misery of rich people.
Yeah, man, God, you see these people turn into humans later on, and it's like fucking
Bezos'
great.
rocket was pretty funny. It's hard not to laugh at Jeff Bezos's penis rocket.
Oh my God. Well, next question.
Rice. We got a question from Rice. Rice asks, in lieu of Mr. Peanut Butter being... Excuse me. In lieu of Mr. Peanut being... Because I was thinking of BoJack. In lieu of Mr. Peanut being mistaken as a UFO today, what other UFO shapes or silhouettes would you find hilarious or most intimidating to be mistaken as UFOs?
I have no idea what this is referencing or what this is about. But I thought we put UFOs to bed on this podcast.
No, UFOs pretty much got put to bed after the UAP report came out and said, we don't fucking know, give us more money. And then the UFOs mysteriously seem to have disappeared from the news since then. But I was having a really fun conversation in Discord the other day about how reddit.com/RUFOs, which is an insane place where a crazy new age religion is developing, I swear, we're all freaking out over multiple people citing a mysterious, ominous, man-shaped image in the sky. And as it turns out, it was a giant promotional balloon of Mr. Peanut that they all got mistaken for like some shape-shifting jetpack giant that was just a blur from the distance and the angle they were looking at. But yeah, in that is the context. There were like 2 to 3 days of a Reddit panic on the UFO subreddit over Mr. Peanut balloons, and it was the funniest shit since the last time they
something was funny.
They freaked out over a giant dick-shaped balloon or something and thought it was aliens. But yeah, okay. So just picture that, guys. Picture you waking up in the morning and society is collapsing around you. You turn on the news and aliens exist and they're invading. What is the shape or silhouette that would make the situation... What would defuse the situation and make it funny instead of scary?
I mean, there's a lot of immature things you can think of.
Yeah, like penises.
Yeah, or butts. But like,
Boobs.
oh my god. Yeah, or butts. But I don't know. Like, if a big
thighs.
What would you think of a big floating head just coming down, like some type of Rick and Morty episode? Like, what?
Show us what you got.
Show us what you got. Yeah, like that would be.
Oh God, there's or like really freaky religious artwork where you just see an eye in the sky looking at you, like just the eye.
Oh, dude, the eye stuff that would kill me. That would
you
kill me.
can totally get why that would like scare medieval peasants so much. Just a painting of an eye in the sky is fucking.
I still have
scary
dreams
somehow
about Sauron's eye, like in Lord of the Rings. Like I still have dreams of like demonic shit, just the eye just constantly being in my face.
So I would be intimidating instead of funny. I think we can all agree. If the UFO looked like a giant eyeball looking at you from the sky, that would strike biblical fear into people.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. I don't know. Like, I feel like there's so many shapes. Like, if aliens were like, "Oh, we want to become non-threatening," and what shape should we take? And they probably take all sorts of. They could take all sorts of shapes, and it's probably going to be perverted. Let's just be honest. If they were to pick a shape, they're going to look on the internet, and they're going to be like, you know what? A lot of people like boobs.
Poop emoji.
Yeah. Or poop. Oh, my God. A poop emoji would be great.
A poop emoji. A little door opens up, and a gray alien just waves. That would be the greatest day in human history.
Dude.
I was wondering how different people's reaction would be if it was like the big cartoony star from Kirby, like the iconic soft-edged, like it kind of looks like it's made out of butter. Like if that's there would also be some irony for it being a star coming down from the night sky, but like a cartoony, stylized version instead of a realistic-looking star. If the UFOs were Kirby stars, it would instantly set a lot of fear in my heart at ease.
What if they come down like with like musical instruments, like a violin,
saxophone?
Yeah. They could just, and then fucking Elvis comes out. I'm back, guys.
That's how they decided they should appear to calm people down.
And then Michael Jackson comes out right after.
That's where he's been this whole time. So where all the celebrities go to die, and then one day they'll come back for the the revelation.
Guys, the rapture already happened.
Maybe that's the apocalypse for the reddit.com/RUFOs religion is a conspiracy theory that all the mysteriously dead people actually got abducted by aliens and are waiting to come back. Like in Third Contact, Close Encounters, yeah.
Yeah.
Reddit.com/RUFOs thought that movie was an elaborate soft disclosure product from people who were like in the government. It's such a Reddit.com/RUFOs is praying to the aliens every day for them to come down and save us.
I still at this point can't believe that people would believe in this when we literally are living in an age when Mr. Peanut is being mistaken for a UFO.
There is the CE5 method on reddit.com/RUFOs that some users believe in, where you literally just go to the top of a mountain and think in your head really hard, I want to see a UFO, I want to see a UFO. And if you do that for 5 hours, supposedly it happens. Everyone gets great results. There's one guide you can pay $7,000 to who will instruct you and guarantees that you'll see a UFO sighting if you literally go to a quiet, isolated place and want it hard enough. They're creating a cult.
And you were a part of it briefly.
Yeah, that was a crazy month. But then again, every month has been crazy for the past 2 years, hasn't it?
Yeah, between Hunt and UFOs, we almost lost you a few times.
A few times, but...
Still here. Still answering questions.
Dangling by a thread. We have Raj. Raj says, "Hey, Duns and Suds. Hey, Duns and Dads. Help me! I've said for many years that Okami was my favorite game of all time. When I was younger, I played through it 4 times. But then I went back and started replaying it recently as a bit of a comfort blanket, and I wasn't enjoying it. Everything except for the art style wasn't clicking with me. Similarly, I thought about the hundreds of hours I spent in Bionic Binding, and I felt regret for playing the game for so long. I felt as if the majority of that time wasn't even enjoyable. This has been genuinely difficult for me to process. My feelings could be summarized by a George... So what gaming existential crises have you had? Have there been games you thought you liked but ended up realizing you were horrifyingly wrong? Do you think it's a bad idea to play games you like when you're older and more jaded?
Yes. To all of those things.
Yeah, Ocarina. Ocarina of Time is the pinnacle example of something that was used to be an untouchable golden calf, and now it's very dated.
Sometimes I just wonder if I like games at all anymore.
Yeah, I feel that way quite a bit.
And then there is a game that will come out, and then I'll be like,
oh yeah, that's why I play games. Yeah,
this is why I like some video games. Yeah.
But then, you guys ever like think about all those Gen Xers who did grow up playing video games in the late 70s and 80s, but then grew out of it when the 6th gen was what the millennials were growing up on, and I don't know, I'm kind of scared that we would
have to end this podcast, George.
We would.
Gaming existential crises. Okay, let's go. Yeah, Ocarina of Time, big up there. I'm sure that at some point in the future, Metal Gear Solid 3 is going to be unplayable with its control scheme the way it is.
There's plenty of updated versions.
Be a shitty day.
No, the HD version I think would be fine.
Well, the HD version has the same control scheme where you have to click the right stick to switch over to a third-person camera, hold the right R1 button to switch to a first-person camera, and then slightly hold your pressure on the square button, but only halfway down, because then if you release it slightly, you can cancel your gun animation. But then if you mash it down really hard, it's a wacky control scheme that does like help increase the tension and challenge of the game. But I mean, when I'm like a dumb old man and I'm on my deathbed, am I really still gonna want to be spending my time with that? I thought when I was younger.
Does it matter? You enjoyed it at one point. Now you don't.
But we all live only one life.
But that's fine. You can never experience everything that is available to experience. And therefore, you experienced a game that you really enjoyed and have great memories of, and you don't necessarily need to go back and play that game. Is it such a bad thing that if you do and you don't like it as much as you did at one point, why would you be disappointed by that? It's just because it's just a fact that could happen. It's the same as not liking some food that you like as a kid.
Going back to your hometown and seeing it all decayed and ruined and all your childhood friends with bright futures burning out. I
don't know if that's the same.
I understand the sentiment.
No, that's not the same. Because, like, your brain changes. You change as a person. What you like changes. Your taste changes. Like, I used to hate raisins. Shit. Like, everything changes when you get older. So playing something that was like fresh and new and exciting because you didn't really have those things when you were younger or whatever, like it's different now. It's different now. You have more experiences under your belt.
Well, how do we feel about the stretches of our lives that we have gotten deep into obsessive fandoms of things that are now irrelevant? Like, for example, a video of me from 6 years ago talking about how Metal Gear Solid 2 is a mind-bending masterpiece, and one of my referential materials was a
So what are you having a crisis of there? That there's a video on the internet of you saying that MGS2 is good, but you might one day not think MGS2 is good, and therefore it invalidates your opinion at that time?
It's not me just saying it's good. It's me like acting like I'm fucking Morpheus from The Matrix in the camera and making this incredibly embarrassing
Why does that matter?
Dictionary definition version of the word cringe video that's going to be with me and my brand for my whole life. It absolutely matters. This is the stuff that like was fueling half of the narrative development in the Bo Burnham Inside movie. Like
one day, Bo Burnham will look back at Inside and cringe at some of the songs he wrote.
He cringes. He used to be super cringy when he first got out. Like, he used to be super fucking edgy and stupid. But look at him now. He's a lot better.
And you guys think that it's just like not valid for someone like him to cringe at his old stuff and the stuff he used to be in? Like, it's absolutely a reasonable reaction.
But it doesn't matter though.
Well, it matters if it affects your mental health. If it affects your mental health, it matters in a hard material way that cuts into your productivity, into your revenue, into your standard of living, and your life expectancy at the end of the day.
What this has to do with why it's not okay to move on from things that you may have liked once.
No, if anything, you should move on fast and quick and not have too much of a hole you've dug yourself into to the point where you're going to look back an entire decade of time and realize that, I don't know, maybe I spent 3 years of that.
Look, hindsight is a magical, wonderful thing. That's why it exists as hindsight. Mm-hmm. You cannot predict. You cannot know. You have to learn that there are things that, with experience, you learn to control. There are things you will make or do, and you'll be like, I might regret this one day. And in those moments, that experience kicks in. But you will never truly know, and that's why hindsight is a beautiful, beautiful thing. You know, speaking from many experiences where I fucked up things, not including recently and in many different ways. But ultimately, a part of, I could go back and play Super Mario 64 and hate it, but it wouldn't change the experiences I had as a kid and how that shaped me as a human being, or Ocarina of Time, or the N64. I'm just never going to play it again.
Yeah, and those were like games you played as a child and moved on. But imagine if you like put on a suit and a tie and talked to a camera on the internet about how Mario 64 is actually a deep, multi-layered, nuanced masterpiece and informed by ancient Buddhist astrology. And then
you were a product of the time.
And then a few years later, millions of people end up dying from a pandemic that completely recontextualizes how not important video games are. Because we're talking about
crisis,
regrets, and existential crises, and there's absolutely positively no way I'm not gonna regret all the utter time I've wasted playing Hunt Showdown, especially. And there's absolutely positively no way whatsoever I'm gonna regret trying to like date people when there's all these embarrassing videos of me on the internet that I make my money from. There's no way I don't regret making my money from that stuff in the first place. When like, I didn't go to school for that. I need a boss. I need a boss telling me what to do. I need a place to go. I need faces to see and talk to people with. And yeah, so yeah, I do feel like I'm kind of sort of in a different position maybe. That my media consumption of dumb video games for teenagers is not totally consumptive. Like, I have to produce something out of it that's going to permanently affect my identity forever.
I really don't. I understand this comes from a place of concern and worry, because you look at other people similar to that and you feel those things about those people. I imagine talking about Marvel movies and the people who obsess over Marvel movies. I saw a hilarious video when the new Matrix trailer came out of like people posting dudes dressed in freaking leather and stuff, telling their fake hacker names outside of a movie theater because they were excited to see Matrix, Revolutions or Reloaded or whatever, right? And that video is cringy and hilarious, and it's so funny. But everyone knows it's a product of its time. Those people obviously will look back with regret and and hopefully laughter at that.
I don't think they'd regret it.
Some might. I don't think I would regret appearing in a YouTube video saying a game was amazing, because I would try to think about how that personally was at the time.
Because the difference is that they're having fun and not doing it for work, for money, for their resume, for their permanent record forever. Like
But you
dressing
didn't
up.
know at the time. Actually, technically, I think when you made that video, it was not your job, right?
Yes, it was. I was working 3 jobs at the time, and that was the one I wanted to eat the other jobs with.
Yes, but you weren't. But you've already. Well, there you go. You made something in the hopes that it would become your full-time job, right? But you were doing it because you wanted to be doing it.
Because I wanted a full-time job, and no one was hiring me.
So even at that time, you were not enjoying making that video.
Well, it was work. Like, that's different from enjoying something purely for the pleasure of it. I spent a lot of really, really long hours reading dense stuff, writing dense notes, putting together the script and the editing. It is not fun, like, sitting in front of a Word document in a video editor for 14 hours straight. So what is your regret then, that you spent all that time unenjoyably creating something that people are going to look at terribly? Kinda, yeah.
That's going to happen.
I definitely think that video is going to age very, very badly. That if
Okay, so how many man hours, because this is spiraling out of control, how many man hours do you estimate that it took to make that video?
The Metal Gear Solid 2 video?
Yeah, man hours.
Like 80, 90?
And how many hours of Hunt Showdown have you played?
1,500.
So, there's an 80-hour man hour.
So one of those is like a lifetime's worth of Hunt Showdown, my dude. I can't walk back from that. I am going to regret that on my deathbed.
But why? Like,
how am I going to explain that to my family, to my girlfriend, to the fans of the channel?
Cares?
All right. Well, that is all we have for this podcast. We'll see you guys next time. Follow us on all our socials.
There's
Adios.
no way I can walk back from the hole I'm in here.
Yes, you can.
Okay,
Matt,
we're
come on,
cutting out,
Matt,
right?
the one.